I'm not here to, throw under other people under the bus or talk about what happened, but it's not unprecedented. I think there's been instances where it's happened before, and that's just it makes me kind of weary just because it's not unprecedented, and I think there's an easier way to get this done, to still respect the Steelers and what they do, and having tears out of a contract. But we'll see.
See, that's the part of the press conference yesterday that makes me think he does just want $6 million rolled forward. That part right there. But a lot of our listeners listen to the press conference and they think he wants to make $25 million this year. Well, Jeff Hathhorn was there and he could read the body language in addition to hear the words. Jeff, I'm very excited to talk to you about this today. A, how you doing? And B, what was your takeaway from what Cam Heyward's ask is as you come out of that press conference?
Yeah, I'm glad he talked to us so he could kind of explain it a little bit. I would say this, he's serious about saying, listen, meaning talking to management, when I have an all-pro season, I'm going to come back and ask for more money. He's not surprised. This is something that he fully expected to do. This is not something that was last minute. He said they've been aware of it since February. I think you're right. He mentioned, listen, there's something that's been reported that's kind of out there that's all you have to do in this scenario. And I think the Steelers are going to do something along those lines. I do. And, you move some money ahead like they did for AB and then talk about next year. I don't envision a contract extension, but the way he's playing football, I don't know, maybe that is something they would discuss next year, even if it's only for a season.
Jeff, you say that you think that the Steelers are going to move that money forward. Do you think they should? Do you think they should move that money forward and set a new precedent? And, now guys like Derek Harmon can see how this situation operates and, operate differently moving forward. Do you think Cam deserves having money moved forward this year?
Yeah, it's a really tough business discussion. And this is why when you do this, you need to take the feelings out of negotiations. As tough as they can be, you need to try to do that. I think you could say, if you've been a 10-time captain and you've done all the things that Cam Heyward has done, then we can have that discussion, much like they did with Ben. If you're a quarterback, you've won a couple of Super Bowls, you could come to us and we could have this type of discussion. It is, I know it's a hard conversation because I look at it during this way, what if Ramsey has a big year?
Right.
He said, look at this defense. It wasn't like this without me. I need more cash.
That's 100% what's going to happen, too.
Right. And, it could happen regardless of what they do with Cam. I think there is some – and, Doran, you've been in the middle of it. NFL players of all the athletes are the most annoyed by their contracts because they're not fully guaranteed. And that's something that I think always kind of lingers in the back. And you think about Cam's work with the NFLPA, and I think all of that mixes in, but I do think, when Tomlin said, I'm not concerned about it, I really don't think that he's concerned about it. You saw Heyward standing by Tomlin on the sideline for a lot of the game. There's no animosity. Players aren't avoiding him or side-eyeing him. I think they understand where he's coming from. Now, if the Steelers do it again, I think they will. It's how do they spin it so the other guys realize that they just can't come to us every year. And again, even if they don't do it, they could have guys come to them, and they're going to have tough decisions to make.
I think the Ramsey example is a really good one. I think, Jeff, you're right. If they do this, you have to be very clear that you only do things like this for 10-time captains, 4-time All-Pros, 7-time Pro Bowlers, future potential Hall of Fame guys. Because if not, then there is absolutely a slippery slope. I'm wondering if you're seeing a lot of this. I was listening to a bunch of your show this weekend, Jeff, award-winning as always. This is the stuff I can't understand. Texter. And people are all entitled to their opinion. He was my favorite Steeler until this BS happened, and now I think he's a bum. It's almost as if this guy's decade-plus career where he's been a wonderful player and a tremendous human being, it doesn't mean anything. It just all gets flushed down the tubes because of one contract dispute. It's crazy to me.
Yeah, I mean, if that gets solved really quickly, does that change then in a week? But I'm with you. I mean, I was surprised. A word that kept being used was huckster. You know, that he doesn't do charity work. He just hucksters. He's just a huckster. I'm sitting there, and it was fascinating just to listen to some of the people's opinions. I think Cam probably said too quickly, like, hey, I understand I signed a contract, but I think most fans look at it like, dude, you just signed a contract and you're making 14 and a half. And I think there are a lot of times where fans look at guys' salaries and are like, are you kidding me?
Right.
Like $14.5 million isn't enough when you've already made over $100 million in your career. But for Cam, it's amazing how much Cam is kind of like Hines Ward in the fact of, you know, he's always got that chip. He's always got that motivator. And for him, he said he told them that when he becomes an all-pro, he's going to come back. And he said there was some giggling in the room. And that immediately like set something off in him. And he had a great season. And, you know, that it's a big deal for him, much like we saw with TJ. He's not looking to be the highest paid defensive lineman. He just wants to be in that neighborhood.
Jeff, you think Boswell gets done?
No, I don't.
Do you think he kicks game one?
I do. I think, I mean, maybe they would front a little money, but man, and no disrespect, but you're the kicker and you start getting special exceptions. I mean, then you're really opening the door. I mean, as great as he was, I would be surprised if they did something with Chris, but I think Chris will come back and then they'll probably have some handshake agreement to work on a deal for next year. I mean, he is 34. So while kickers have longer careers and can kick into their 40s, some of them, I think that they would have some kind of agreement like, hey, let's talk next year. We'll have your back. Just get out there and kick.
Man, I'll tell you that my man is skating. My man is skating right now, Jeff. And there have been the occasional texts or tweets or calls that we'll get, oh, just give Boswell the money because for him to be the highest paid kicker, it's just $1.5 million. But is it the principle or not? With the 2 years left on the deal or what? Like, if you don't think Cam should get the money and you're a fan, you probably shouldn't think Boswell should get it right now, even though it's not a big chunk of change because, again, he kicks footballs.
Yeah, I mean, listen, when Boswell signed his contract, it made him the highest paid kicker in the league with Tucker. I mean, and that was just a couple of years ago. It's not like he's making 1.2, I think would be a Steeler mindset, even though where he sits in the division in the year he has. But, man, you really get into this. I mean, we could talk about it round and round. I mean, when you start, guys have great years and then they want more cash when they've got a couple of years on their salary. You run into these situations. Now, we've said, we being as a media group that have covered the Steelers forever, that, well, the Steelers don't do things this way. And how many times have they surprised us this offseason? This one, though, I would be shocked if they start opening the door for negotiations with 2 years left or even in season. And I think in season is the one that they really want to hold on to.
What's up with Darius Slay? He got nicked up yesterday. Is that a serious injury?
Yeah, it was the first 7 shots, and he came down and immediately went down, and he just rolled his ankle. As Tomlin said, he'll be back ASAP. So, I mean, maybe he takes the last day of camp off so he could pack. Or, you know, they allowed James Pierre a few more reps, but it seemed like he was fine. He was able to, after practice, he was able to walk around, and it looked like he was having no problems. So expect him to be on the field, and expect Ramsey to be on the field tomorrow, according to Tomlin, which this will be a good test. If both those guys are on the field and they've kind of back to their secondary again, now let's see this offense that's gained some momentum.
Yeah.
Let's see how it looks in practice with that regular secondary back, because this is also the last practice where I can tell you everything that's happening, which is why I love camp.
Last day, Jeff, I think that Brooke Pryor, when she asked Tomlin about Ramsey, I think she asked him about Ramsey because nobody knew that any of this was going on with Cam. They almost like, hey, what's going on with Jalen? Like, when I heard it, maybe I'm just so in the Cam Heyward Holden mindset right now that I can't see the forest through the trees. But when I heard her ask that question, I was like, hold up now. Like, is Ramsey trying to get a contract extension? What's going on here?
It's funny you say that, because we were discussing it before the news conference. Like, how should we phrase this so he doesn't give us just a yes or no or say it's bumps and bruises? So that she phrased it in a way where Mike kind of had to give an answer of, oh, he's just out, but you're right. Now, anyone that's working on the side, is this just
right.
one day, or is somebody looking for more cash? I mean, we thought we were done with it with TJ. You went into camp and you're like, all right, all this stuff's behind us. You're just focusing on football, and here we are, your defensive captain and your leading scorer, looking for more money.
Oh, I love it.
And by the way, guys, I did ask Boswell to comment, and he said no, and then kind of turned his head as he was walking away, saying, because I know what you're going to ask me. I'm thinking, yeah. Mm-hmm. I think people want to know where your head's at.
Right.
So
what did Cam Heyward think you guys were going to ask him about why black? Like, duh.
And listen, I mean, I wish he would have done it Thursday, but I will give Cam credit for at least stepping out, taking questions, and saying, hey, this is the deal. And people might hate him for it. I know a lot are, but at least he explained it to people of where his mind is.
Yep, totally agree with that. Jeff, this was awesome, man. Appreciate the time. And the next time we'll talk to you will be now 2 days after camp is over. Whoa.
No, crazy.
Quick.
All right, buddy.
At least it'll be a nice, cool day.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, pal. Jeff Hathhorn.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Jeff.
Odyssey Sports Director. He's all over this. There's a bunch of good stuff on 93.7thefan.com.